Hey y'all. So remember when I said that I was going to make a defensive driving video for New Orleans? Well, I am in New Orleans and I'm going to do a video for here because it's very busy here right now. And also, I think it's good to have examples of different scenarios. So I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to try to use the Smith system, the 5 defensive driving techniques. If you haven't watched the previous videos, this comes from a guy from the 1940s who was creating a better way of defensive driving. And so he had these 5 techniques that he pitched to companies that would save them money on fuel, maintenance, um, and I forget the third thing. But he was basically capitalizing on time, visibility, and space in order to make driving safer. So I'm going to flip the camera around and I'm going to show y'all what it's like to drive in New Orleans when it's a little busy. So, okay, so the first one is aim high and steering. So, of course, you want to try to look at least 15 seconds ahead. I can't see 15 seconds ahead because there's a curve, but I'm making note of parked cars on the left side and right side. I'm stopping to where I can leave a car length of space in front of me. I see this car that's trying to merge over, so I'm going to allow this car to merge over. I'm going to accelerate slowly. I'm making a left turn, so I'm letting the person know behind me that I'm making a left turn. I'm watching out for this truck and making sure that they're yielding. Um, so now I'm going to go forward. I'm acknowledging the parked cars, the pedestrians, the cars in front of me, making sure that there's no pedestrians in the median over here. Because sometimes to my left, people will kind of stand in the median, and you kind of have to watch out for those people too. I'm going to make a left turn, so I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge or signal that I'm making a left turn. I stop behind my crosswalk in case any pedestrians are crossing. The next one is get the big picture. So I'm looking around. I'm looking at my left and my right mirror, my rear view mirror. There's no cars around me besides this car that's in my front right section. Um, I'm making note of relevant and non-relevant items. So I know you can see the pedestrians that are walking. Those are relevant items because I'm headed in that direction. Non-relevant would be like these bushes to my left. You can't see them, but I can see them. So relevant items are items that could potentially be a danger or, you know, things that you kind of want to pay attention to. Non-relevant items are items that are there, but you don't necessarily have to be wary of them. So I'm accelerating slowly. I'm looking to my left, my right, and to my left before I go out into this intersection. Uh, I am acknowledging this passenger that was on the scooter. I'm stopping right here. And also, a big thing with New Orleans is if you ever have to cross, um, it's hard for you all to see, but in this median where this, what do you call it? This monorail buses. I know that's not the right name, but you have to watch out for those too because they're going back and forth, and they have the right of way because that's their mode of transportation. So if you're ever trying to cross over in that median, I'll show you all once I make a complete stop. This median right here, where the monorail buses are going, you have to be careful crossing those, and you also have to watch out for regular traffic. So again, there's a lot of pedestrians. You have to be careful in New Orleans because the pedestrians have the right of way, but sometimes they'll cross in the middle of the street, especially like if you're on Bourbon Street, kind of like in that area, the French Quarter. The pedestrians are everywhere, and so are the bicyclists. So I'm making note of this pedestrian walking um, in front of me right now. There's a bus stop or monorail stop right here. I know that's not the right name, but the trolley, the trolley stop is right here. So there's pedestrians right here. There's cars on my right side. I don't have any control over that. I'm just making note of it. So I'm gonna kind of what I already exemplified, keep my eyes moving. So I'm looking at the bus in front of me, the buses that are stopped and they have their flashers on. I'm looking at the pedestrians, the dog that's getting on the bus. I'm making note of the car that's turning, so I'm slowing down enough. I made note of the car that just passed me, that's stopped at the red light, a pedestrian that is walking right now, people that are walking with their babies, the stroller. There's other pedestrians approaching from my left. Um, and there's cars, of course, crossing the intersection. Um, so I'm making note of all of that. So always keep your eyes moving. Every 2 to 3 seconds, look at a different object. You can just see how busy it is right here on Canal Street. The other thing is you want to leave yourself in out, of course. So most of the time in New Orleans, you won't have too much control over the cars passing you on your left and right side because as you can see, traffic is pretty busy. So again, I'm about to pass this intersection. I'm accelerating slowly, looking to my left, my right, and to my left before I go through the intersection. Um, and yeah, you always want to leave yourself in out. So see right now, for instance, I have to get over because the truck in front of me is stopped and they have their flashers on. This truck right here, he's letting me over. I made eye contact with him before I made sure, but you saw the truck in front of me was stopped, so I had to leave myself enough of a cushion to be able to get over. And the bus that led me over, he was trying to get over to his left. So before I could merge, I had to make sure that he was going to yield or allow me to get over. So I put my right turn signal on, I made eye contact, and then I slowly merged over. So yeah, it's gonna be like if you ever drive down here just for personal driving or for your job, it's gonna be, it's gonna take some getting used to. Now you can make U-turns in New Orleans, so you have to kind of factor that in also. But a lot of streets, like this street in particular, you can't make a left turn, so you won't be able to make a left turn or a U-turn. And in this situation, it's to keep you from potentially colliding with the trolleys that are constantly moving back and forth. There's also construction that's happening. If you can see that guy in the top left, he's doing construction. So there's a lot of construction that happens. So you have to be mindful of the construction vehicles, the cones, this guy that's getting out of his car. I'm going to go ahead and get over so that I don't even make contact. So you see all of the pedestrians that are out getting out of their vehicles, their parked vehicles. So as much as possible, if you don't have to make a right turn, you want to kind of stay in your left and middle lanes. Again, I'm making note of pedestrians, making eye contact. So I'm going to slow all the way down. And the last thing, which I already said, was make sure they see you. So you want to make eye contact with the pedestrians, with the drivers, with the construction workers, even with the dog, even with the animals, the dogs, so that you're always making sure that you're in constant communication with people. So let me see. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good intro. I'm gonna do some more videos in New Orleans too, maybe one on the highway, so that you all can get um, you know a better picture of some of the sticky car situations that you can end up in where you really have to think fast, especially when there's like a traffic jam, a parade, a second line parade, the Saints games, like all of those. So subscribe to my channel if you all are enjoying the videos. It's Lost Art 2839, and I will catch you all later. Bye.